Good morning. Sorry, good afternoon. ಆಯ್ತಾ ಊಟ? ಓಕೆ, ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸಾಕು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿ. ಗುಡ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ನೂನ್ ಅಂತ ವಿಶ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ವಾಪಸ್ ವಿಶ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಹೇಳಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್. So my name is Shashank. I'm a faculty at Insights, teaching from the last 6 years. Okay, I teach international relations, internal security and political science. So brief history about my UPSC preparation. I also started like you. In class ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹಿಂದೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಟ ಆಡ್ಕೊಂಡು gave 6 attempts, cleared all 6 prelims, gave 4 interviews. The last interview I gave was in 2022 where I missed by 6 to 7 marks. Okay, so this is my introduction. So I will be handling international relations. About the subject, again it is a very important subject from the perspective of prelims as well as mains. Mains ali you are going to get how much marks? 50 marks. Esto? 50 marks. 2 10 markers and 2 15 markers. And in prelims around 10 to 15 questions come from international relations and places in news geography attached. And it is one of the most easiest and scoring subject in preliminary examination. If you have observed, the cutoff of prelims is very wavered now. Last year, how much was the cutoff? 75. This year, 95. Artha agta idea? So ultimately, how much questions should we get right? Net questions. ಈಗ 95 ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕು? 47, 48 questions you should be getting right. All right. In that, again, if you are getting 10 to 15 easy questions, again, that is, you are going to be lucky. Artha agta idea? So in the brief of the next, in say 15 to 20 days, I'll be teaching you international relations. Also, I'll be teaching you how to read the newspaper. Artha agta idea? Why? Because newspaper reading is one of the most important part of our examination. Did I take newspaper reading class for you? B3, B4 ಇಬ್ರಿಗೂ ತಗೊಂಡಿಲ್ವಾ? ಒಂದು ಬ್ಯಾಚ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿನಿ, B3 ತಗೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ? ಇದು ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಪೋರ್ಟಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ? ಪೋರ್ಟಲ್ ನೋಡೇ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಹೋಗಿ ನೋಡಿ. ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ? ಆಗಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಅವ್ರು ನೋಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನೋಡೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಆಗ್ಲೇ ನೋ ಸರ್ ಅಂತ. ಫೈನ್. ಎನಿವೇಸ್, ಎವ್ರಿ ಡೇ ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಅರೌಂಡ್ 15 to 20 minutes I will tell you how to read the newspaper. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? And regarding the subject international relations, again it can be a very interesting subject or it can be a very boring subject. Why can it be a boring subject? Sir, I have no interest. I don't care why India and China are fighting. I don't care what is happening in West Asia. Nanige sir. Artha agta ideyala? So some people will not have interest. Other people who have interest, they are going to enjoy the classes. But end of the day, you like it or not, you will have to read international relations. Artha agta idya? And I will request you to attend all the classes. Barta crowd alinda 70-60% ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Fine. And whatever we are discussing in class, the newspaper we are doing is definitely going to help you in this exam as well as any competitive exam you are going to write. Fine. Start ಮಾಡೋಣ. So before going in, again, as I regularly tell, you should be knowing the syllabus of the subject. Anybody knows the complete syllabus of international relations? There are 4 lines, 4 bullet points. Tell me all 4 bullet points. And one more thing, my class will be very interactive. I will be asking questions and I want you to answer it. Artha agta idya? Fine. Why? Because again I have stressed communication skill is very important, which we lack, especially people from Karnataka. We will be knowing it, but again we will not be able to convey it. Fine. Anybody who is going to tell the syllabus? All of you know Kannada? Anybody doesn't know Kannada? ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? Okay, it's easy for me. syllabus ಹೇಳಿ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ಹೇಳಿ. ಇಲ್ಲ, ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ರಾಜ್ಯೋತ್ಸವ ಫೇಮಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾರನ್ನೂ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂತೀನಿ ಈಗ. ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನೇಬರ್ಹುಡ್. India and its neighborhood relations. So what do you understand by the word neighborhood? ಯಾವ countries, which countries are going to come under India and its neighborhood? ಜೋರಾಗೆ. Pakistan ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಇಡಿ. Why you are giving so much respect to Pakistan? ಆಯ್ತು, China fine. Bangladesh, Bhutan, good. Nepal, Myanmar, Maldives, Sri Lanka. ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಹೇಳಿ, ಬೇಡ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅಫ್ಘಾನಿಸ್ತಾನ್ ಹೇಳಿ, and then talk about Pakistan. ಆಯ್ತಾ? So again, what are we going to study with respect to each countries? Bilateral relation. ಅದೇ bilateral relation ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? First we are going to read why a country is particularly important for us. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? For example, a country might be important, say China is important for trade. Sri Lanka is close to us because of cultural reasons. Cultural andre? Same culture. Same living style. ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡದಿದೆ. ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಆಲ್ ಓವರ್ ದ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್. ಈ ಮಿಡಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಸೇಮ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನರ್ಥ? ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನ್. ವಿಚ್ ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಅಂಡ್ ಶ್ರೀಲಂಕಾ? ತಮಿಳಿಯನ್ಸ್. ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಮೇಜರ್ ರಿಲಿಜನ್ ಆಫ್ ಶ್ರೀಲಂಕಾ? ಬುದ್ಧಿಸಂ. ವೇರ್ ಡಿಡ್ ಬುದ್ಧಿಸಂ ಒರಿಜಿನೇಟ್? ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿನಾ? So Buddhism is one of the most important feature in cultural ties. Then you talk about, see, language again I'll use one more word called as linguistic ties. Means Tamil population. Around 10 to 15% of Sri Lankan population is Tamilians. Artha agta idea? So again, for every country we are going to read. Why is Bangladesh important for us? Why is Bangladesh important? Border security, yes, good. Amele trade, fine. Immigration, illegal immigration. A lot of illegal immigration happens from Bangladesh to India. Aita? Good. After that, importance, we will see which are the areas of cooperation. Importance andre, for example, it can be security, culture, economy. Areas of cooperation andre, again it can be trade, commerce, defense ties, etc. Artha aita? And one more thing we are going to read is what are the disputes between India and our neighbors. If you observe, take every country, there are different disputes. Disputes idya? For example, what is the dispute between India and Pakistan? Huh? One person. Border issue ilve illa. Border, Kashmir is ours. There is no POK, it is all India's. Very good. Terrorism is the most important issue between India and Pakistan. Amele drug trafficking. Artha agta idya? So this is what we are going to discuss for every country. Fine. Next, bilateral, regional, global groupings and agreements involving India or affecting India's interest. What do you mean by bilateral? Bilateral means whenever there are two parties involved, two countries. Good. Regional andre? Regional andre ಏನು? A particular region where a group of countries have come together. Regional andre, can you give me examples? South Asian Association. Again, all of this I will discuss separately. Today we are just going to have an overview. South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. European Union ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? ASEAN ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? Yesterday Modi ji had a meeting with one grouping. What is the name of that grouping? Very good. What is the name? CARICOM. Who are the members of this CARICOM? Caribbean countries. Good. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? Then we'll go to global groupings. Global groupings ಅಂದ್ರೆ what do you understand by global groupings? Most of the countries, inter-regional, where there are a group where members belong to different parts of the world. India, Asia ಇಂದ ಇರಬಹುದು, Africa, Latin America, etc. Any examples of global groupings? NATO ಒಂಥರ ರೀಜನಲ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ, ಯುರೋಪ್ ಅಂಡ್ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಅಮೆರಿಕಾ. ಓಕೆ, ಕ್ವಾಡ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು, ಫೈನ್. ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ದೊಡ್ಡದಿದೆ ಯುನೈಟೆಡ್ ನೇಷನ್ಸ್, WTO ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಆಮೇಲೆ IMF ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಗ್ಲೋಬಲ್ ಗ್ರೂಪಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಫೈನ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವಿಂಗ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. ಅಗೇನ್ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಯು ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಅದರ್ ಗ್ರೂಪಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಕ್ವಾಡ್. What is Quad? One person tell me. Quadrilateral security dialogue. Ashtena? Who? Me, you, he and he are members? India, US, Australia, Japan. What is the main objective of Quad? Why is Quad formed? ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದಾರ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾನು ಚೈನಾ ಕೌಂಟರ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಕ್ವಾಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ ಅಂತ? ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ ತಾನೆ? Again, they say that we have come together for the global good. Global good andre, in the interest of the entire world, we have come together. Main reason is to tackle China. Artha aida? Then, BRICS. What is BRICS? One person from the balcony. Balcony boys. Yarar obru heli BRICS andre enanta? ಏನು ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಫಿಲಮ್ ನೋಡಕ್ ಬರ್ತೀರಾ? ನಾಳೆಯಿಂದ ಕಾಫಿ, ಪಾಪ್ಕಾರ್ನ್. ಹೇಳಿ, somebody tell me what is BRICS? All of you have heard about BRICS? ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಬಾಲ್ಕನಿಲಿ. Who is going to tell? ಯಾರು ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ. ಆಗ್ಲೇ ಬೇರೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋಣ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸರಿ. ಈಗ ನಿಖಿಲ್ ಕುಮಾರಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಸೋತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರೆಡಿ. ಡಿ ಬಾಸ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಬಂದ್ರು ಶೆಡ್ ರೆಡಿ. ಬಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇಫ್ ಐ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ನಾಟ್ ರೆಡಿ. ಬೇಗ, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್? ಸರಿ, ನೀವೇ ಹೇಳ್ರಪ್ಪ ಯಾರು. ಎನಿಬಡಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸೈಡ್? ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್? It is a multilateral grouping where countries have come together for. What is the reason why BRICS countries have come together? Purpose in economic cooperation. Dominate the dollar. ಅದು ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರಾ? Counter UN. It's a dangerous statement. Countering the UN ಅಲ್ಲ. Again, the main objective of BRICS is to provide an alternative to the Western model of development. What do you mean Western model andre? West andre no. The developed countries, USA, Europe, all of them are known as West. So BRICS as a grouping says, I want to provide an alternative. Have you heard of IMF? World Bank? These are all Western institutions where USA and Europe dominate. So that is why these countries came together saying that we want to give a new model. That is why we say they have come together to promote cooperation among developing countries. Artha aita? Who are the members of BRICS? Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹೇಳಿ. ಈಜಿಪ್ಟ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಈಜಿಪ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಥೈಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್, ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಬೇರೆ, ಥೈಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. Okay, plus is different. Saudi Arabia, Iran, Ethiopia. Argentina wanted to join, but Argentina finally did not join. BRICS plus andre when, for example, BRICS summit happens every year. It has happened in India also. When it happens, the host country will say it will invite few countries. Please come and participate. Avaga BRICS plus ante. Okay. Affecting India's interests. Next, effect of policies and politics of developed countries and developing countries on Indian interest. What do you mean by this? Effect of policies and politics of developed countries. Give me examples. Okay, fine. Adviti. Very good. CB. ಏನಂಗಂದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಿ, ಯಾರು ಮಾಡಿರೋದು? ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್, ಯುರೋಪಿಯನ್ ಯೂನಿಯನ್. ಏನ್ ಹೆಸರು? ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಬಾರ್ಡರ್ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್. ಗುಡ್. So recently European Union brought a initiative known as carbon border adjustment mechanism. Aita, what exactly does it do? Anybody? It is more like a carbon tax. If India is exporting any goods which are more carbon intensive, polluting, European Union says I am going to put a tax. Again we will discuss when we do European Union. Artha aita, very good. Amel other examples. Yes. CARDSA. What is this CARDSA? Good, Ulas. Countering American adversaries through Sanctions Act. USA had imposed sanctions on countries like Turkey, North Korea, Iran, Russia. Again, all of this we are going to study in detail. Aita? Next. ಹೇಳಿ, ತುಂಬಾ ಇದೆ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು. ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ಲಿ ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ ಟು ಇನ್ USA? USA ಏನಾಯ್ತು? ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಪಾಲಿಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಡ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್? ಹೌ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ದ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೊನಾಲ್ಡ್ ಟ್ರಂಪ್ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ? ನಾನು ಬರೀ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಆನ್ಸರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್. Got it? Then so many events are happening across the world. ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ. Very good. Russia Ukraine war. So Russia and Ukraine are fighting. So how has it impacted India? Good, inflation. But at the same time, India got cheap oil. Yes or no? Which other war is happening? Israel, Iran, Israel, Hamas. War is happening. Has it impacted India? Definitely yes. Artha aita? So these are some of the topics. Then Indian diaspora. What do you mean by this diaspora? Indian people living in other countries. Ashtena? Indian people andre yaru? Citizens of India. Ashtena? Non-residents of India. Who are non-residents of India? Who are not living in India? Heli NRIs andre yaru? Non-resident Indians. They are citizens of India but not staying here. Okay. Illi two types barutte. Ondo overseas people who have gone abroad, say for example during the British times or during the last 100 years, settled there, become citizens of their own country. Aita adu ondo. One more is Indians who have gone there to study or work. Alright, so Indian diaspora, if you observe, I think Modi ji went and interacted with our diaspora. Correct? Huh? Recently, which country had Modi ji gone? Canada hoidra. Guyana. Who is the president of Guyana? I think its name is Irfan Ali. Irfan Ali na Muhammad Ali na gotilla. Irfan atwa Muhammad Irfan. I think his name is Irfan Ali. And he is also an Indian diaspora. A lot of Indian diaspora are present in prominent positions across the world. Any examples? Kamala Harris, Rishi Sunak, India roots say illa avನಿಗೆ. ನೀವು ತೆಗೆದು ನೋಡಿ his ancestry. Africa, Pakistan, ಆ ಥರ ಇದೆ. His wife belongs to India. ರಿಯಾಲಿಟಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀನಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಆಯ್ತಾ? Then any others? ರಿಷಿ ಸುನಾಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಸುಂದರ್ ಪಿಚಾಯ್ ಕೇಳಿದೀರಾ? ಸತ್ಯ ನಾಡೆಲಾ ಕೇಳಿದೀರಾ? All of them are Indian diaspora. Are they important for us? Why they are not living in our country? They have gone away. They have left their homeland and gone. Why are they important for us? Huh? They send back money. India gets around 100 billion every year from these non-resident Indians who are staying abroad. 100 billion is not a small amount of money. It's more budget. It's a budget of few small countries also. Aita? Then, important international institutions, agencies, fora, their structure and mandate. Examples. Any important international institution? United Nations, World Bank, IMF, WTO, etc. Alright. Usually under every subheading one question is asked in the mains. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? And generally questions are asked in international relation from current affairs. For example, last year or this mains, there is a question on Maldives. Why was the question asked on Maldives? What was happening between India and Maldives? Anybody? ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ Maldives ಅಲ್ಲಿ? One was Maldives got a new president and he won the election with the campaign of India out. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? That is point number one. Point number two is there was a diplomatic tussle between India and Maldives. A few Maldivian ministers criticized Modi ji. Modi ji told everybody, don't go to Maldives, go to Lakshadweep. So, ee tara fight aaytu. Artha agaya? And that is the reason why there was a direct question in mains about India and Maldives. Getting it? Yes. What is foreign policy? Again, today's class will be more like a overview. You might not understand some things, but all of this what we are discussing again will be discussed in the coming classes. Today is more like a trailer of what we are going to study. So the first part is, what exactly is foreign policy? Anybody? Huh? Promotion of or ಎದುರ್ಕೊಂಬಿಟ್ರು ಯಾರು? ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇನಾ? ಈಗ ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮೇಕ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಗುಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋ ಪ್ರಮೋಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅದು ಫಾರಿನ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿನಾ? ಕ್ವಶನ್ ವೈ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಆಸ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ whenever you convey something you should ensure that the other person is not going to ask you any question. ಪ್ರಮೋಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಸ್ಟೇಟಸ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಮೇರಾ ಭಾರತ್ ಮಾನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಗೋಯ್ತಾ? ಫಾರಿನ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಯು ಓನ್ಲಿ ರೀಫ್ರೇಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಅದರ್ಸ್? Guidelines that is given to India how to deal with other countries. Who gives guidelines to India? India itself. Partially correct. Bilateral agreements with countries with common interest. Foreign policy is basically how India interacts with other countries to achieve our national interest. The main objective of foreign policy is national interest. Now tell me, what is national interest? Why does India talk to Russia? Why does India interact with Russia? Majorly it is military. Alright, so is it a part of our national interest? Around 60% of India's defense equipments is of Russian origin. Artha aita? National interest. Then, one more, now you can say oil. Then, why is USA important to India? Diaspora, fine, but diaspora last yearly. Right now you can say technology, investment, okay. Trade, one of the largest trading partners. ಅದೆಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕಿಂತ China. Both India and USA have a common enemy, and the common enemy is China. Have you heard of Arthashastra? Who wrote it? Kautilya. So there, in Arthashastra it is written, your enemy's enemy is your best friend. In life also, no? You don't like one person, the other person also doesn't like the person, so you both will become very good friends. So international relations is also an extension of human relations or human behavior. India international national interest. For example, why does India interact with Saudi Arabia? Oil. I will use another word. Energy security. How do you define energy security? All of you have heard of food security? How do you define food security? Very good. Affordable, accessible, available. ಏನು available? Food. Food na ಏನೇನು replace ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? Energy. ಅರ್ಥ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ? Affordable, accessible, available. Understood? So again, Saudi Arabia, energy security very important. ಆಮೇಲೆ why else is Saudi important for India? What does Saudi Arabia have? Money. And India is one of the source of destination for investments from Saudi Arabia. Why Saudi Arabia wants to invest in India? Why Saudi Arabia wants to invest in India? Growing economy, fine. People are Indians are working there, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ ಅವರು ಅಂತ. ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನೇ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ವಾಪಸ್ಸು. More demand from Indians. One part is yes, fine. The main reason is, today do you agree that we are moving towards cleaner energy, green energy, away from fossil fuels? In another 50 years, petrol and diesel vehicles will come down to 5-10%. Correct? Where will Saudi Arabia and other countries go? Iga, what is the main source of income for Saudi Arabia? Oil. Yaru oil buyers ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ gone. So that is why Saudi Arabia is diversifying its interest, so that it will get returns or it will get money from different sources of income. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? Then Why is China important for us? Trade, raw materials, very good. ಆಮೇಲೆ border, fine. Apart from that, weapons, ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ weapons. Chinese weapons ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಶೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. There are victims. Actually, Pakistan is facing that problem. Service ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ spare parts ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ. There is a very nice story. So what happened was, a few Chinese defense production company members had gone to Kenya. They wanted to sell their defense vehicle. The name of the vehicle was anti-bomb van. What is the name? Anti-bomb van. So what the Kenyan people said is, whoever had gone to sell that vehicle, they asked them, why don't you sit in the vehicle? We will try experiment it. ಅರ್ಥ ಇದಲ್ಲ, nobody agreed to sit inside the vehicle. And many people have died. So again, the quality of Chinese goods, you know. But again, why China is important for India? APIs. We call it as active pharmaceutical ingredients. All of you know Dolo, National Medicine of India. Correct? ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಡೋಲೋ ಹಾಕು, ಲೈಫಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಜಾರು ಡೋಲೋ. ಹಂಗೆ ಆಗಿದಲ್ವಾ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಕೋವಿಡ್. So to manufacture Dolo, there will be some ingredients. That ingredients is available in China. And India is one of the largest exporters of pharmaceutical products to the entire world. To export, we need raw materials, and that APIs come from China. So imagine China will say tomorrow, I will not sell API to you, or I will increase the prices of API. Can it hurt Indian economy? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? Similarly, telecommunication products, solar products, we are depending on China. So this India-China relation is like a love-hate relation. Even if you want to break up, you can't break up. ಹಂಗ ಅಡಿಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಆ ಥರ. Why? Because if India, see, recently we had a border agreement. Before that, India-China ties were very bad. Very bad ties, and obviously you should not stop talking. You should stop talking. But India's trade reached the highest peak during this time. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ, India needs China and China needs India. What is the population of India? 1.4 billion. So India gives a market of 1.4 billion to China. Imagine tomorrow India says, I will not import anything from China. Will it hurt China? Definitely yes. But will it hurt India also? Yes. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆ ಲವ್ ಹೇಟ್ ರಿಲೇಷನ್, ಯು ಲೈಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್, ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಟು ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಈಚ್ ಅದರ್. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? So that is why whenever we are interacting, whenever there is an international relation issue where India is involved, it is obviously involving our national interest. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? Speed is okay? And one more thing, at any point of time, if you do not understand anything, please stop and ask. I see many students will not do that. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬಿಡು ನನಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಬರೋದೇ ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. It can be very small. You might say, sir, China ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತಾನೂ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. Getting it? You have paid fees and you have come here. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಥವಾ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಸ್ಕಿಪ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಇಲ್ವೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. Any small doubts, I'll be happy to clear it. ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಓದ್ಕೊಂಬಂದು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. Fine? And how do we pursue it? Through diplomacy. Or you can say our Indian foreign service officials. Anybody wants to become IFS officer? First preference. ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಇಲ್ವಾ? IAS ಎತ್ರಿ, ಅದೇನದು ಬೇರೆಯವರು ಯಾವ್ದು ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ಸಾಕು ಸರ್, ಒಂದು ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಒಳಗೋಣ ಬಿಡಿ ಸರ್ ಅಂತ. ಹಂಗೆ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, ಒಂದು 2 years ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು. Don't do that. Always you should have a party aim. I want to become an IAS officer, I want to become an IPS officer, and don't give up that hope. ನೋಡಿ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ಕನ್ವಿಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. Why I am telling you is, if you have that conviction, you are going to give more effort in preparing this exam. Yes or no? How many of you want to become IAS? Etti. IPS. Ganne. Others? Any service? See why? Because yesterday I got a call from my friend, my student. So he has cleared the exam 2 times. First he became an IRS officer, then he became IPS. Next attempt again he sat and he wrote the exam saying, no, I want only IAS. That is the kind of dedication. Once you clear the exam, you will get lot of distractions. Still he cut down all the distractions, said, no, I want to become an IAS at any cost. That hunger should be there for you to clear the exam. Hunger 1 day, 2 day irutte, continuous agirade biggest challenge. Alright? Determinants, again, these are not important from the exam point of view, but to understand international relations, it is very important. Determinants of foreign policy. What do you mean by determinants? What affects our foreign policy? You only tell me what all can affect our foreign policy, India's foreign policy. What will affect India's foreign policy? Huh? What influences diaspora ಆಯಿತು? ಇನ್ನು ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ರೋ ಲೆವೆಲ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ. Policies. First important determinant of our foreign policy is geography. Geography ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ foreign policy ನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. Look at the map of India. ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? Again highlighted is Akhand Bharat. ಈ ವೃತ್ತದಲ್ಲಿರೋದೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದೇ. ಮೈನ್ಮಾರ್ ಹಾಕಿದಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಹಾಕಿಲ್ವಾ? ಚೈನಾ ಅಖಂಡ್. Fine. Can I say that geography is one reason why India is one of the most powerful countries in the world today? Do you agree that India is one of the most powerful countries? ಹಿಂಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ. So geography plays a very vital role. Can Pakistan or Sri Lanka aim to become a superpower one day? ಚಾನ್ಸೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆಗುತ್ತಾ? Why? Because look at the geography. Surrounded on 3 sides by oceans or water. Does it not give us a strategic advantage? At the same time, imagine poor countries like Nepal and Bhutan. They are landlocked. Landlocked ಆದರೆ they should be dependent either India or China. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇರುತ್ತಾ? ಲೈಫಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ವೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಧ್ಯ ಕೂತಂಗೆ, ಚೇರ್ ಮಧ್ಯ, ಆ ಕಡೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. Understood? Now, can I say that geography is one reason why USA is the superpower of the world? Look at it. ಯಾರು ಈ ಕಡೆ ಸಿ ವ್ಯೂ ಇದೆ, ಈ ಕಡೆ ಸಿ ವ್ಯೂ ಇದೆ, ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಐಸ್, no problem. At the same time, China has border disputes with 16 neighboring countries. Getting it? So USA does not have to think about Canada. In Mexico, ಒಂದು ವಾಲ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್. And can they easily monitor their oceans? They can easily protect their defense or their borders. So that is why geography is a very important determinant of foreign policy. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಮಾಡರ್ನ್ ಹಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ? ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಗುಡ್. ಫೈನ್. Where did all the invaders come to India from during 17th and 18th century? Northwest. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ geography? That is why you observe British, after they come, they try to create this zone as a buffer zone. You start reading it later. Understood? During ancient medieval times ಅಲ್ಲಿ where did ಯಾರದು ಇಂಡಿಯಾಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು? ಬಾಬರ್ ಮುಂಚೆ ಗಜ್ನಿ, ಗೋರಿ, where did they come from? ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದನೇನಾ? And modern times, yeah, British. In fact, ancient times ಅಲ್ಲಿ who came to India? Aryan invasion ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? And thankfully we have the great Himalayas here. Himalayas acts as a natural boundary to India. The size of the country also plays a very important role. Do you agree? Can Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan, can they aspire to become superpowers? But there are some exceptions, like Israel, Japan. And boundaries also play a very important role in our foreign policy. Correct? For example, India has a boundary dispute with Pakistan and China. The biggest irritant for us, China and Pakistan. Next, history also plays a very important role in our foreign policy. Do you agree? How? Relations. How? Example kodi. History. British Commonwealth ಆಯಿತು. ಜೋರಾಗೆ ಬೌಂಡ್ರಿ ಡಿಮಾರ್ಕೇಶನ್ ಇನ್ನೂ ಬೇಕು, ಕ್ಲಾರಿಟಿ ಬೇಕು. What did India learn from the British invasion? Can I say that India has always been a victim of aggression from other countries? So this has impacted our foreign policy. Have you ever seen India going and occupying other territories? History layla. So the current foreign policy of India is influenced by historical factors. Can I say that? Can I say culture also impacts our foreign policy? Example. Jorage. Spread of Buddhism ಆಯಿತು. Have you heard of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam? ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಾ? Where is it written? ಮಹಾಭಾರತ. ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. Upanishads. Good. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. World is a Is it followed by India today? Guarantee na? How? Examples kodi. Very good. During COVID, what did India do? Vaccine Maitri. India provided vaccines to other countries. Very good. Any disaster in our surroundings, India is the first person to help. In fact, some people make fun. India will be waiting for disasters to happen. Especially Nepal, Afghanistan. Any problem, India is the first responder of. Recently also, in this Red Sea crisis ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು. Red Sea, where lot of Pakistani people were also held hostage. Indians went and rescued them. Okay, so this has also influences our foreign policy. ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದಾ? Then, how does Buddhism influence our foreign policy? Non-violence, ahimsa. ಆಮೇಲೆ non-alignment movement. Okay. Gandhiji. Has Gandhiji influenced our foreign policy? How? ಜೋರಾಗಿ. Peace. Fine. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವಾಗಿರೋದು ಆಕ್ಷನ್ IPL? ನಾಳೆನಾ? ಇದೇ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲ? Anyways, Mahatma Gandhi's favorite or famous concept is Satyagraha. ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಾ? What do you mean by Satyagraha? Sorry. Satyagraha ಅಂದ್ರೇನು? Fighting for the truth? Correct? So don't you think India is always fighting for truth, fighting for climate change, justice? Next, personalities also influence our foreign policy. Do you agree? Example, Nehru, very good. Jawaharlal Nehru. Modern history ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ? ಚಾಚಾ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರಾ? ಬಂದಿಲ್ವಾ? ಪ್ರದೀಪ್ ಸರ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಚಾಚಾ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. Jawaharlal Nehru. Why? Panchashil. I'll give you an example. Both India and Pakistan became independent at the same time. Correct? In fact, they became independent one day before us. But today you see where India and Pakistan are. And for that, Nehru played a very important role in forming the base or laying the foundation for our foreign policy. Example is non-aligned movement. Again today, later we will discuss what is non-aligned movement. Panchashil, etc. Other personalities. Swami Vivekananda. How did Swami Vivekananda contribute? Very ಹೇಳೋದಲ್ಲ with point. ಚಿಕಾಗೋಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಹೇಳಿ. Brotherhood. Full line ಹೇಳಿ, ಅದೇನು one word. Where he gave a speech in Chicago 1893 na 91 na ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ sir 93 ne. Okay, where he gave that India has a cultural message to the world. All right. Then Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Indira Gandhi ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಬರೋಣ ಒನ್ ಬೈ ಒನ್ ಬರೋಣ. ಏನಂತೆ ಮೋದಿಜಿ ಮಿಸ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. Indira Gandhi. At one time it was said India is Indira, Indira is India. One of the most powerful ladies, and she was also one of the reason why India's profile in the world became very prominent. Example, 1971 ali we will defeat Pakistan in liberation war of Bangladesh. At that time USA, UK and other countries support Pakistan. At this time single-handedly we defeat Pakistan. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? Apart from this, in 1974 she conducted India's first nuclear test, Operation Smiling Buddha. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? And why? Because India was not a member of nuclear supplier group or non-proliferation treaty. Still India went on to carry out a nuclear test. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? And that is the reason why we have nuclear weapons today. And today you are seeing in Russia, Ukraine, what happens if you don't have a nuclear weapon? If Ukraine had a nuclear weapon, would Russia attack Ukraine? ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರಾ? ಚಾನ್ಸೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. Why? Because one nuclear weapon is enough. So that is why we have to give the credit to Indira Gandhi and her successors for helping develop a nuclear weapon. ಆಮೇಲೆ even Atal Bihari Vajpayee, he conducted Operation Shakti. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? Then any other leaders? ಮನಮೋಹನ್ ಸಿಂಗ್ ಅವ್ರೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು? ಮನಮೋಹನ್ ಸಿಂಗ್ ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ಯಾಕೆ ನಗ್ತೀರಾ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ? ಅದು ಇವರು ಪಿ ವಿ ನರಸಿಂಹರಾವ್, LPG reforms. Manmohan Singh was the finance minister then. All right. Then we have Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Again, Atal Bihari Vajpayee is a person who should be remembered. Why? Many people called him a statesman. What do you mean by statesman? Statesman ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಲೀಡರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ. ಯಾವ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಇದೆ ಕೇಳಿದಿರಾ? ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ಮೆನ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಲೀಡರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಡು ಯು ಮೀನ್ ಬೈ ದಿಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ಮೆನ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಲೀಡರ್ಸ್? Somebody who will take the opposition also along with him. Somebody who does not carry grudge towards his opposition. Somebody who will take all the or hear all the voices. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ಮೆನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ? And Atal Bihari Vajpayee tried his maximum so that India and Pakistan relations can get better. Unfortunately he failed, but he and Manmohan Singh gave their 120% to better relations between India and Pakistan. But Pakistan is like what? Naibala. No matter how much you do, they show their true colors. Aita? Then we have our next leader. Who is the next leader? Modi ji. Earlier even I was telling Modi, so some follower actually threatened me. Give respect to our Modi ji anta. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನನ್ಗೆ ಯಾಕಪ್ಪ ಬೇಕು? ಅದು ಬೇರೆ 5 years back there was Modi government was in full power. You don't know, some people will be very emotional. So I don't want to hurt their sentiments. Again, coming up, the jokes apart, Modi has played a very important role in raising India's profile in the international arena. Again, see, politics is apart. You have to criticize wherever it is needed, appreciate wherever it is there. Aita? We can say that under Modi ji, our foreign policy has become more vibrant. Nodi, Modi ji, lot of foreign trips keep happening. Yes, lot of foreign leaders like Modi ji. Correct? Hey. ನಾನು ಟ್ರಂಪ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಮೆಲೋಡಿ ಹುಷಾರು. Understood? Modi has a very good bonding with a lot of international leaders like Donald Trump, Vladimir Putin. Why? Because personal bonding also plays a very important role in having good relation with a country. Alright, if you observe, whenever India, now Donald Trump is coming to power, so the ties are going to get better. Putin also. Appa, melody chocolate kodini. Fine. Economic resources. How do economic resources influence a country's foreign policy? Trade. Example kodi. Trade is a very vast word. How does economic resources affect a country's foreign policy? First, economic resources andre. Economic resources andre. It can be money also. It can be minerals also, natural resources. ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದಾ? ಈಗ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಡಿ. Very good. Does India have oil or doesn't have oil? ಇದೆಯಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ? ಇದೆ, ಬಟ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. So that is why India has very good relation with West Asia. Why? Because India does not have sufficient natural resources. Next, domestic environment also influences a country's foreign policy. What do you understand by domestic environment? Domestic environment. Fine, climate antanu helbodu. Give me example. How climate? Albada global warming bere aitu. Why Bangalore became the IT hub? Ondu policy, ondu climate. Do you agree? That is why we call ourselves Silicon Valley. Same thing, even so San Francisco has a similar climate. Apart from that, tourism. Tourism ಯಾಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಇಂಡಿಯಾಲಿ? Why do foreigners visit India? We are culturally rich. Good. ಆಮೇಲೆ diversity, ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು law and order. Do you agree? Majorly peace loving people. ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ extremities ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. Majorly peace loving people. Can I say India is a successful democracy? All this plays a very important role in foreign policy. I told you, Saudi Arabia wants to invest in India. Why does Saudi Arabia want to invest in India and not Pakistan? ಏನಕ್ಕೆ? Political stability, law and order ಇದೆಯಾ? ಪಾಕಿಸ್ತಾನಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾನು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಆರ್ಡರು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ಟೆಬಿಲಿಟಿನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. Again, Pakistan ali they are going to give grants from Saudi Arabia, but they are never going to invest for returns. Returns antu baralla, duddella. And it will become a burden. Next, external factors. Regional environment and international environment. Just come to international environment. So I'll give you a current example. The war between Russia and Ukraine. Has it impacted India's foreign policy? How? ಅದು ಬೇಡ, ಆಯಿಲ್ ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಗೊತ್ತು, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತು. How it has impacted our foreign policy? ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು. Food security, okay, ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು. So what has happened now is Russia and Ukraine. Who is supporting Russia? Which countries are supporting Russia in the war? Iran, China, North Korea, China. Who is supporting Ukraine? USA, amele Europe. Japan, etc. What is India's stand in this Russia-Ukraine war? ಏನು ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಲ್. ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಲ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ವರ್ಡೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅಬ್ಸ್ಟೈನ್. ಅಬ್ಸ್ಟೈನ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಬ್ರು ಜೊತೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಸೆಂಡ್ ಸಮ್ ಏಡ್ ಟು ಯುಕ್ರೈನ್, ಡೋಂಟ್ ವರಿ, ಟೇಕ್ ಸಮ್ ಮನಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಮೆಡಿಸಿನ್. ರಷ್ಯಾ ಹತ್ರ non-aligned, yes, you can say non-aligned, or we have taken a balanced approach or a nuanced approach. But India has not stayed neutral, that is for sure. We are telling Ukraine, don't worry, I'll tell Russia to not go for war, and we are telling Russia, please give me oil. Artha agta idea? Is it not how an external environment is going to impact my foreign policy? Now, do you agree that USA and Japan are very good friends of India? They are putting pressure on India. Enanta? Don't have any relation with Russia. But India said, no, Russia is my very old friend, I cannot do that. Artha agta idea? The challenge we are facing in balancing Russia and Ukraine. Why? Because according to you, who is wrong in this war? Honest agili. Ukraine is wrong. Enike? Papa Ukraine. Russia is wrong. Gottidya, ellargu gottidya. So, India says, I am the land of Gandhiji, I am the land of Buddha. Correct? Antoru ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? What should they do? Try to stop the war, criticize Russia. So that is why India's foreign policy stand has been criticized by a lot of countries. You say you are the leader of third world countries, developing countries, global south. ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ? All right. So that is how external factors will influence our foreign policy. What is India's stand in the war? Multi-alignment. India has appealed both countries to give up violence and have a political solution. ಇನ್ನೇನು ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತೆ? All right. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? Yes. Next. Article 51 also talks about foreign policy. What is Article 51? What does it fall under? DPSP, na? Directive Principles of State Policy. What does it state? The state shall promote international peace and security. Russia-Ukraine war applicable. Maintain just and honorable relation between nations. Now tell me, what does it mean? Friendly antane baribodaitala. Just and honorable relations. What do you understand by these words? Just and honorable. Commitment to agree. Just andrenu. Just andre towards justice, fine. Just and honorable. Honorable andrenu. Kannadadalli what do you mean honorable? ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ. ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಾರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ? Because whenever you are dealing with small countries also, like Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, treat them with respect. Did you understand? What do you mean just and honorable relations? Foster respect for international law. That means whichever international laws are there, you have to respect it. Example. Law ಹೇಳಿ ನಂಗೆ, international law and treaty ಬೇಕು. All of you know it. ಜೋರಾಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅಷ್ಟು ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? Don't use nuclear weapons. Others ಹೇಳಿ. I am talking about respecting international law. Any example of international law or international treaty? Correct. United Nations Convention ಯಾವುದು? Very good. United Nations Framework for Climate Change. Have heard of UNCLOS? ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಾ? United Nations Convention on Law of Seas. Have you heard of it? We'll discuss later. Okay. So India says we have to respect any international law and international treaties. Paris Agreement ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಾ? So we have to respect them. And encourage settlement of international disputes by arbitration. Arbitration andre sit down and discuss in a mutually amicable manner. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ 51. ಎಸ್, evolution of India's foreign policy. We can divide, again no need to by heart the devolution, but again which year what has happened you should have an idea. Alright. So first phase we can start from independence to India-China war. Next up till 1991 and 1991 till date. So how was our ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಬೋರಿಂಗ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಡೂ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕೀಪ್ ಯು ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಸೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಆಲ್ರೈಟ್, ಹೌ ವಾಸ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾಸ್ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ನೆಹರು, ಇಂದಿರಾ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಮೋದಿಜಿ? These are the most important policies of India in international relations. One is Panchashil. Again, I tell you what exactly is Panchashil. Next, non-alignment or non-aligned movement. Next, we have Gujarat Doctrine. And next, we have Modi Doctrine, or also you can call it as Neighborhood First Policy. These are important milestones or important features of India's foreign policy. We'll discuss each of them separately. Fine? (1947). What happened? India became independent. So at that time, what was happening in India and in the global arena? India, as soon as India became independent, what happened? Communal violence, partition aita. Hindu-Muslim unity was completely gone. Violence happened. Apart from that, poverty, illiteracy. What was our literacy rate during independence? Around 15%, 14 to 16%. Andre literacy rate. Today estide? Around 70, 75%. What was the life expectancy then? Life expectancy andre how long a person is going to survive. Avaga estitu 32 years itaste. Average person could survive only till 32 years. Now it is around 67, 69 years. Artha aita? This was the situation in India. At the same time, India was divided into 545 princely states. Those had to be integrated into a single country called India. Are there the challenges? Then what was happening in the global scenario? Across the world, what was going on? Very good. Something known as Cold War. How many of you do not know what is Cold War? Honest agirbeku, kai ettbeku, nangu gottilla. ಎತ್ತಿ ಎತ್ತಿ ಏನಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಇವಾಗ ಎತ್ತಿದೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ. ಮೇಡಮ್ ಕೋಲ್ಡ್ ವಾರ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ಹೇಳಿ. ಗುಡ್. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವಾರ್ ವಿತೌಟ್ ವೆಪನ್. ಸೊ ಹೊಡೆದಾಡೋದು ವೆಪನ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ. ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಸಿ ವಾರ್. ಫೈನ್. ಲಿಟ್ರಲ್ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಕೋಲ್ಡ್ ವಾರ್. ಅದರ್ಸ್? USA and so cold war is when you and your parents do not talk to each other. Ade cold war alla. Anyways, so what happened was, after the Second World War, who won the Second World War? Allied powers gedru. Yaar sotru? Germany, Japan, all of them lost the war. The world was divided into, or became a, the world order became a bipolar world order. Bipolar world order, that means two poles. Which are the two poles? One is United States of America and one more is USSR. After the World War, the world was joined into two blocks. One block led by USA, one more block led by USSR. And they started having an ideological battle. Fine. USA said that capitalism should be the economic system across the world. What did USSR say? USSR said we should move towards a socialist or a communist society. Artha aita? Cold War andre world divided into two blocks, one led by USA and other led by USSR. So these countries started lobbying all countries to follow capitalism or communism. Artha aita Cold War? At this time, India had just become independent. Both USA and USSR were trying to attract India into their grouping. So at that time, what did India do? India said, I don't want you, I don't want you, I want both. I'll tell you why. Alright. India said, I will be non-aligned. Why did India say I will be non-aligned? Why? Interest of? So I want to extract benefits from both sides. Other reason, no? But then direct agala. India was under the colonial rule for more than 200 years. Do you agree? Just now you have become independent and now you want to be dependent on some other country. We have seen the problems of what happened in 200 years. Our wealth was looted. Yes or no? What theory is Drain of wealth theory. Yeah, books. Dadabhai Naoroji. Books is Dadabhai Naoroji. Poverty and un-British of India. Inondu? R.C. Dutt, Economic History of India. So India decided this is a time where I continue to be independent and not go to the spheres of influence of either USA or USSR. What is non-alignment? All of you understood what is Cold War? Okay, anyways, we discussed two words. Anybody from political science optional? Eti. Sudeep alva? Amele. Irtare yaru ettala answer question keli helakagala anta. Anybody? Your friends also can point out, sir, your PSI are optional anta. Akodi bega. Madam, nim political science nim friend do. Yardu ilva? Sudeep inyardi political science. Prajwal elidiyappa? See why? Because even during my preparation when we started, we did not know all this. What is capitalism? Free market. Amele. Free market and ಏನು ಅರ್ಥ ಅದು? ಈಗ ನಾನು ಲೇಮನ್ ಅಪ್ಪ ನಂಗೆ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತೆ, I don't know anything. Explain me capitalism to me. It is a type of economic system or model, correct? Where there is, yes, very less intervention of the government and there is a free hand given to the market. Market is the king anta karidevi. Artha ida capitalism. What is socialism or communism? Where state is at the commanding heights of the economy. State will decide what to produce, how much to produce, who should get how much salary. Which is good according to you? ಏನು ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದು ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು. Okay, fine. Capitalism has a lot of drawbacks. For example, imagine I am a poor person. I do not have money. I belong to a very lower caste. So, will capitalism provide me equal opportunity? So that is why in capitalism we say the rich will become richer, the poor are going to become poorer. That is why we need the intervention of state. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲಿಸಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ? ಫ್ರೀ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಎಕಾನಮಿ, ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಲೆಸ್. Socialism andre state is controlling. ಇವನಿಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ, ಇವನು ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೋಷಿಯಲಿಸಮ್? ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್, ಏನ್ ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹೆಸರು? ಮಂಜುನಾಥ್. ಮಂಜುನಾಥ್ ಸರ್, ಪಾಲಿಟಿ. Manjunath is a very bright and intelligent kid. ಈಗ you are intelligent means you should get more pay, but government will give him only 10,000 per month. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು ವೆರಿ ಡಲ್ ಕಿಡ್, ಬರೀ ಆಟ ಆಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀನಿ, ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ನನಗೂ 10,000 ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ. ವಿಲ್ ಮಂಜುನಾಥ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎನಿ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಟು ವರ್ಕ್? ಏನಕ್ಕೆ? Nobody is working, why should I work? So Manjunath will also become like me. Did you understand the problem of socialism here? No scope for innovation. So communism andre Sudeep, communism andre ಹೇಳಿ, ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು. PSI ಅಂದಮೇಲೆ ಯಾಕಾರು ಸಿಗಾಕೊಂಡು ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡ ಸರ್. Others, community is going to own all the resources. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲಿಸಮ್, ಸೋಷಿಯಲಿಸಮ್, ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ? Let us see the events. I will come to this slide later. 1948 or 47-48, first war between India and Pakistan. So again, what was the outcome of this war? Partition. India won the war. ಏನಾಯ್ತು? India won the war. But here what happened is, again, I will discuss this war in detail while I do India and Pakistan. India and Pakistan will be the most interesting class, lot of stories. So what happened was, after independence, all of you heard of Jammu Kashmir? Jammu Kashmir was a princely state ruled by Maharaja Hari Singh. I think this you know basics. He said, I don't want India, I don't want Pakistan. I will try to be independent at this moment. So what happened was, and what is the demography of Jammu Kashmir? Majorly it is Muslim dominant region ruled by Hindu ruler. At that time Pakistan thought, why don't I go and capture Jammu Kashmir? Anyways, Jammu Kashmir does not belong to India. Population is also Muslim population. Let me go and forcefully occupy Jammu Kashmir. Artha agtaya? At this time, Maharaja Hari Singh called Nehru. Nehru, please help me. What did Nehru say? Who are you? First, who are you? Why? Because India would have persuaded them, join India, join India. Avaru avag style madirtare, serala anta. Nehru said, who are you? It's your life. Why should I come? That is when he requested, Nehru told, you join India, tomorrow only I am going to send my forces. This is how Jammu Kashmir became a part of India. Artha agtaya? But at that time, Pakistan would have occupied almost 1/3 of Jammu and Kashmir. The current POK anta karitivalla, ಅದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ವಾರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಯುಪೈ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. I will show it to you in the map while you do India Pakistan. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? And 2/3 will continue to be with India. At this time, what did Nehru do? Nehru went to United Nations. Why? Because United Nations was formed. And what is the main objective of United Nations? Peace, security, stop third world war. So Nehru was very ideal. Ideal andre? What do you mean by ideal? He is a very idealistic person ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ. Values. ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರಿಗಿರಲ್ವಾ? Theoretical, hypothetical. For example, in India there is no corruption. It is a very ideal thinking. Love at first sight. Very ideal. ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಏನ್ರಿ ಮಂಜುನಾಥ್? Ideal means you have principles and you are not ready to accept the reality. So Nehru thought, let me go to United Nations and complain against Pakistan. Sir, Pakistan has come to my territory and occupied my territory. Please send them back. Correct? Why? Because everybody thought United Nations is the global policeman. But what did United Nations do? United Nations said, I will ask them to do it, but United Nations also put a condition. Conduct a plebiscite in Jammu Kashmir. A condition we will discuss later. But again here, Nehru's idealism failed. Correct? Artha, what is Nehru's idealism? He expected United Nations to help India. But did United Nations help India? No. Next is 1954 Panchashil. What is this Panchashil? Panchashil again. 5 principles. Who signed? Nehru. Again, Nehru was a very ideal person. So again, China was our neighbor. So Nehru gave a slogan, Hindi Chini bye bye. He felt that India and China should be like brothers. We should contribute to the Asian century. Artha aita? So Nehru en madru Hindi Chini bye bye anta on the agreement sign madru. What is the name of the agreement? Panchashil. These are the 5 principles of Panchashil. Point number 1. Mutual respect for each other's territorial integrity and sovereignty. Repeat. Mutual respect for each other's territorial integrity and sovereignty. What do you understand by this? Mutual respect for territorial sovereignty and integrity andre. I will respect your territory. For example, imagine this is territory of country A, country B. I will respect that this country belongs to you and you should respect that this complete region belongs to me. Artha aita? Sovereignty and integrity. Point number 2. Mutual non-interference in each other's internal affairs. That means I will not have any interest in what is happening in your country and you should not have any interest in what is happening in my country. Pakkad maneli, don't poke your nose. Artha agtidya? Point number 3. Equality and mutual benefit. Let us both treat each other equally and for the mutual benefit of each other. 4th, mutual non-aggression. Andre, I will not attack you, you should not attack me. Last point is peaceful coexistence. These are 5 important principles also known as Panchashil. I will dictate later. Now repeat. Again, just remember that you are going to have an agreement with your neighboring house. ಏನೇನಿಲ್ಲ ಚೇರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತಿರ್ತೀರಾ ನಿಮ್ಮ ನೇಬರ್ ಜೊತೆ, ನೀವು ನಿಮ್ಮ ನೇಬರ್ಸ್ ಚೇರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೈ ಹಿಡ್ತೀರಾ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ತಾನೆ? ಇಡ್ತಾರ? You should respect their, see why I am telling you is I will make you remember it. Mutual respect for each other's territorial sovereignty and integrity. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್, ಅವ್ರ ಫೋನಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಓದ್ಬೇಡಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫೋನಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರು ಓದ್ಬೇಡಿ. You will not peep into their phone, no? Mutual non-interference in each other's internal affairs. Third one, equality and mutual benefit. Fourth one, will you fight? ನೀವು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೊಡಿತೀರಾ, ಅವ್ರು ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೊಡಿತೀರಾ? Mutual non-aggression. If you achieve first 4, there will be peaceful coexistence. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? Always don't try to mug up, try to remember it by making a story or relating it to something else. Now one person tell me all 5 principles. Chocolate ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. Raise your hands. ಸರ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿ. ನೀವೇ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹೆಸರು ಹೇಳಿ. ಹೆಸರು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ತಾನೆ? ಅಗೇನ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಶೋರ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಸಿಟ್ ಇನ್ ಮೈ 20 days ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಪೀಕ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್. ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾತಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿ? ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ನೇಮ್? ಮಾತಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುತ್ತಾನೆ? ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಪೀಕ್, ನೋ? ಅದು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಹೇಳಿ, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ನೇಮ್? ಯಾಕೆ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ರ ಸರ್? ನೀವೇ ಕೈ ಎತ್ತಿ. ನೀವೇ ಅಯ್ಯೋ, ನಾವು ಸ್ಕೂಲಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಂದೆ ನೋಡೋದು. ಹೇಳಿ, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ನೇಮ್? ಸುದೀಪ್. ಸುದೀಪ್ 2.0 ಇಬ್ರಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ಹೇಳಿ ಸುದೀಪ್, ಒಂದ್ ಹೇಳಿ. ಈಗ 5 ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ಸ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಹೇಳಿ, ಒಂದ್ ಹೇಳಿ, ಬಾಯ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೇಳಿ. ಜೋರಾಗಿ. ಈ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂತೀರಾ? ಹೇಳಿ, ಒಂದು ಹೇಳಿ 5ರಲ್ಲಿ. ಮ್ಯೂಚುವಲ್ ನಾನ್ ಅಗ್ರೆಷನ್, ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸರ್ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿ. I will identify and I will make you, I will ask you. Don't take it personally, I have nothing. I want you to improve ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸುದೀಪ್ ನಂತೂ ಇನ್ನು ಬಿಡಲ್ಲ, ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಗೋ ತನಕ. ಇಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಬರೋದು ನಿಲ್ಸ್ಬೇಕು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ಗೆ. ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹೆಸರು? ಬಸವರಾಜ್. ಪೀಸ್ಫುಲ್, ಎಲ್ಲ ಈಸಿ ಇರೋದು ಹೇಳೋದಷ್ಟೇ. ಕೋಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್, ಗುಡ್. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಹೇಳಿ ನೀವೇ. ಹೇಳಿ, ತಪ್ಪಾದ್ರೂ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾನ್ ಇಂಟರ್ಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಅಫೇರ್ಸ್, ಗುಡ್. ಬಾಲ್ಕನಿಯಿಂದ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 2 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. ಸರ್ ಬ್ಲೂ ಶರ್ಟ್. ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹೆಸರು? ಸುದೀಪ್ ಅನ್ಬೇಡಿ ಮತ್ತೆ. ಹಿತೇಶ್, ಹೇಳಿ ಹಿತೇಶ್. ಐ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಯು ಒನ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ, ಯು ಅಂಡ್ ಯುವರ್ ನೇಬರ್. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಫಸ್ಟ್? ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಈಚ್ ಅದರ್ಸ್ ಟೆರಿಟೋರಿಯಲ್ ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರಿಟಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಾವರ್ನಿಟಿ. ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ನಂಬರ್ 1. ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ನಂಬರ್ 2, you will not read each other's mobile phones. Non-interference in internal affairs. Third one, equality and mutual benefit. Fourth one, non-aggression. 4 idre peaceful coexistence. Artha aita? 5 principles, also known as Panchashil. Next, 1955, a very important conference happens. It is known as Bandung Conference or Afro-Asian Conference. Where is this Bandung located? ಬ್ಯಾಂಡುಂಗ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಆಫ್ರೋ ಏಷ್ಯನ್ ಕಾನ್ಫರೆನ್ಸ್, ಆಫ್ರಿಕಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏಷ್ಯಾಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಲೊಕೇಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಡೋನೇಷ್ಯಾ. ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಯು ದ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ವಾಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟುವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಕೋಲ್ಡ್ ವಾರ್. ಕೋಲ್ಡ್ ವಾರ್ ನಾಪ್ಕ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಸೊ ಬೋತ್ USA and USSR started trying to attract countries, come and be a part of my grouping. At that time, the newly independent countries of Asia and Africa met together at a conference known as Bandung Conference. Artha aita? 1955. Next, 1959, Dalai Lama fled from Tibet. Where did he go? He came to India. Who is this Dalai Lama? Philosopher, monk, Buddhist monk. Amele, why does China hate him so much? So he is from a place known as Tibet, and Tibet was also an autonomous region and not a part of China. And Dalai Lama was fighting for the independence of Tibet. Artha aitala? Dalai Lama was fighting for the independence of Tibet, and when China wanted to kill him, he escaped and came to India. Artha aitha? Again, when we do India and China, we will discuss in detail about Dalai Lama. Next, 1960, Indus Water Treaty was signed. What is this Indus Water Treaty? Sharing of water of river Indus. Again, all of this we are going to discuss in detail when we do India and Pakistan. And 1962, India-China war. Again, remember, Panchsheel, what was the 4th principle of Panchsheel? Non-aggression. So Nehru was very ideal. Anyways, I have signed agreement with China, they will not attack us for sure. But China, what did China say? I am going to invade you. Artha agta idya? This was the first phase. Again, Nehru's idealism failed. Do you agree? India and Pakistan were the worst enemies. Both of them signed an agreement. Is it also an example of idealism? NAM, non-aligned movement. What time is the break usually? Break and bed ala? Okay, we'll take a 10-minute break. Okay? Artha agta idya class? At any point of time you do not understand any topic, please stop and ask. Illa andre you are the loser, nobody else. Fine? Start. Punchil repeat ಮಾಡಿ. See, I want you to learn most of the things in the class. I don't want you to go home and again waste your time. Which are the 5 important principles of Panchil? Again, same, a story ತರನೇ ನಾಪಕ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Mutual respect for each others, territorial integrity and sovereignty. Point number 1. Point number 2. Will you see their mobile phones? No. Non-interference in internal affairs. Point number 3. Equality and mutual benefit. Number 4. Non-aggression. If first 4 are achieved, peaceful coexistence. Artha aita? Good. So how can you define Cold War? Anybody? Correct. Fully ಹೇಳಿ. Cold War started after the Second World War, where the world turned into a bipolar world order, one led by USA and USSR, and both of them what? Wanted to protect and spread their ideologies. It was an ideological battle. Okay. NAM, non-aligned movement. So again, what are you observing here? This is USSR and this is USA. So the world was divided into 2 blocks, one under USA, USSR. Now, the newly independent countries, so they had a headache, because again, all the countries knew what were the difficulties of being under colonial rule. So, but obviously, did they need money? Did they need resources? Yes. So that is why they were tempted by USSR and USA to go to their bloc. So at that time, we can also call it as bloc politics of Cold War was prevalent. And the NAM countries decided that we are not going to join any particular bloc and we are going to have independence in decision making. This is a very important word. Independence in decision making. What do you understand by this? Yes, I will maintain my sovereignty. I will support USA if I like it, or I will support USSR if I like it. Artha agta idya? What is NAM? Does NAM mean being neutral? Does NAM mean being neutral? Definitely not. Artha aita? Don't get confused. So again, 5 important forefathers of non-aligned movement or founding fathers of non-aligned movement. First is we have Jawaharlal Nehru. Who is this? Africa. Agle racism ನಮ್ಮ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ತಮಿಳುನಾಡವರು ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದವರು ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ. You've heard. Yes, he is Kwame Nkrumah from Ghana. Ghana. Who is in the middle? Gamal Abdul Nazir. Gamal Abdul Nazir, he was from Egypt, and this is from Indonesia. Sukarno. His name is derived from Su plus Karna. Karna kelidira? Who is Karna? Mahabharata. So today also, Indonesia has so much influence of Hinduism that, see, Indonesia is one of the largest Muslim country, but still has a significant amount of Indian and Hindu influence. When we discuss Southeast Asia, I will show. And the last one is, PD teacher idangidare. Principal irtaralla. Joseph Broz Tito from Yugoslavia. So these 5 countries came together, acted as a founding fathers of non-aligned movement. Artha aita? So again, how can I define non-aligned movement? It is a grouping of newly formed countries who wanted to stay away from the bloc politics of Cold War. Helboda? It is a grouping of newly independent countries who wanted to stay away from bloc politics of Cold War and maintain independence in decision making. Artha agta idya? This is NAM. Yes. What are you observing here? These are the members of NAM. Currently NAM has around 120 plus members. Is to 120 plus. So can I call NAM as a global grouping? Yes. What are you observing in this? Yes. Most of the countries are present in the southern hemisphere. So that is why we also use the term global south. Does it mean all countries which are present in the southern hemisphere? It is generally a term. Global south andre countries which are developing, underdeveloped countries. Artha aita? Global south. Global north andre? Majorly it is the developed countries, Europe, North America, etc. Almost same. Alige barti next. Correct. Next is the same topic. I'll tell you. Before that, regularly we will see this word. North, South, divide. What do you understand by North, South divide? North, South divide anta kariತೀವಿ. That means the differences between global North and global South is referred to as North, South divide. For example, in what area, can you compare global North and global South? ಈಗ ಗ್ಲೋಬಲ್ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಗ್ಲೋಬಲ್ ಸೌತ್ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ಯು ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್? ಎಕನಾಮಿಕಲಿ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಬೆಟರ್ ದ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಸ್, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿಕಲಿ ಗುಡ್, ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೀವಿ. ಸೋಶಿಯೋ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಇಂಡಿಕೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದಾ? ಹೆಲ್ತ್, ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್, ಕರಪ್ಷನ್, ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಫ್, ವೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಬೆಟರ್? ಗ್ಲೋಬಲ್ ನಾರ್ತ್. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ನಾರ್ತ್ ಸೌತ್ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಅನದರ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್. First world, second world and third world. What is this? First world, second world, third world. First ಯಾವ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರ್ ಆಯಿತು? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕವರ್ ಆಗಿ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್. ಆ ಥರ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ಡೆವಲಪ್ಡ್, ಡೆವಲಪಿಂಗ್, ಅಂಡರ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಡ್ ಹಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. Remember I told you the world was into two blocks. ಯಾವುದು? USA and USSR. USA and its friends fall under the first world. ಆ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಇದಾರಲ್ಲ, ಯೂಶಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ರೆಫರ್ ಟು ಆಸ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ USSR and its socialist friends. They will come under second world. Third world ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನ್ ಅಲೈನ್ಡ್ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ, countries which were under the colonial rule, newly independent countries, they are known as third world. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? So almost you can compare global south and third world as the same. Because when you read articles in the newspaper, these are the terms you regularly see. Global south, third world. India adralide? India always says, I am the leader of third world countries. Okay? There is one line known as Brandt line. And this line divides the global north from the global south. Simply they might ask you in prelims, there are different types of lines ಇದೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಎನಿ ಅದರ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಯು ನೋ? ಮೆಕ್ಫೋನ್ ಲೈನ್, ಕಾರ್ಮನ್ ಲೈನ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಎನಿಬಡಿ ಹಸ್ ಹರ್ಡ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಕಾರ್ಮನ್ ಲೈನ್? ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಹೋಮ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಫಾರ್ ಟುಮಾರೋ. Nobody has heard? ಕರ್ಮ ಲೈನ್ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಈಸಿ ಟು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್. ಕರ್ಮ ಲೈನ್, ಕರ್ಮ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಎನ್. ವೈ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇನ್ ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮ್ಸ್ ದೇ ಮೈಟ್ ಗಿವ್ ಯು ವಿಚ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫಾಲೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ಡ್. ಬ್ರಾಂಟ್ ಲೈನ್, ಕರ್ಮನ್ ಲೈನ್. ಅದೇ ತರ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಲೈನ್ ಇದೆ ವಿಚ್ ಸೆಪರೇಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಬಯೋಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಏಷ್ಯಾ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಅಮೆರಿಕಾ. ಐ ಲೆಟ್ ಯು ನೋ ದ ಲೈನ್ ಟುಮಾರೋ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ? ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಬ್ರಾಂಟ್ ಲೈನ್? The line which separates global north from global south. So this person Brandt was a economist. Now again, what was the main objectives of non-aligned movement? Self-determination. What do you understand by self-determination? What do you mean by self-determination? You all say, no, I am a self-determined person. ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ? Yes, no. ಹೇಳಿ ಈ 2 to 5 is the most worst time to take the class. ಊಟ ಮಾಡಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬಂದಿರ್ತೀರಾ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಇಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ 5 o'clock. ಬೆಟರ್. ಬೇಡವಾ? ಯಾಕೆ? ನಿದ್ದೆ ಬರಲ್ವಾ? ಆಯ್ತು, ಓಕೆ, ನೋಡೋಣ, ಫೈನ್. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಡಿಟರ್ಮಿನೇಷನ್? ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಯು ಹರ್ಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ವರ್ಡ್? ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಡಿಟರ್ಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಗವರ್ನ್ಡ್, ಹಂಗಾರೆ ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಬರೀಬೋದಲ್ವಾ? ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಡಿಟರ್ಮಿನೇಷನ್. We only, yes, again, I will choose my way ahead. I will choose my future. Fine. Next, independence. I will be independent. I will not listen to any other country. While India was a colony, India used to always listen to British. Correct? So I will be independent. Next, non-interference. I will not interfere in anybody's internal affairs. You don't interfere in mine. And last one is peaceful coexistence. Artha aita, ma'am? Countries also made a promise. I will not join any military blocs. What do you mean by not joining any military blocs? Have you heard of NATO? Kelidira? So NATO was a military grouping that was formed in 1950, around 50. Who formed NATO? US and its friends. To counter NATO, another pact called Warsaw Pact was formed by USSR. So NAM made a rule that none of its members should go and join any military pacts. Artha aagta idya? Again, these are some of the principles. No need to by heart, have an idea. Respect for fundamental human rights and the purpose and the principles under United Nations. This is one of the main objective of NAM. Respect human rights and the Charter of United Nations. Next, respect the sovereignty and territorial integrity of nations. Yelli repeat idu? Panchashil. Panchashil, if you don't remember anything, write down 5 Panchashil points. Same irutte. Next, recognition of equality of all races and equality of all nations, large and small. Obviously, the newly became independent countries, they were small countries. Example, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, African countries. Correct? Equality of races andre? What do you mean by equality of races? Always remember, when British came to India, what was their main objective? Very good, white man's burden. So they created this myth that the white people are superior people and other races are inferior people. Correct? So they said, we have come here to civilize you. So obviously we said, hence NAM said that no, all races are equal and all countries, you can be a big country, you can be a small country, you are going to be equal. Next, same repeat of our second point of Panchashil. Second point of Panchashil? Non-interference in internal affairs. Artha aagta idya? Next, respect the right of each nation to defend itself collectively in conformity with the United Nations. This means any country, if it is attacked, has the right to defend itself. Repeat ಮಾಡಿ 5 points. Again, keywords. First point ಏನು? Respect human rights and Charter of United Nations. Second point, sovereignty and territorial integrity. Third one, equality of races and all nations, big or small. Fourth one, non-interference in internal affairs. Fifth one, collective defense against any aggression. Artha aagta? Are you understanding? Speed is okay? If you feel it is fast, I will slow down. Balcony. Or yes illa, no illa, ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? Next, abstention from the use of arrangements of collective defense to serve any particular interest of any of the big powers. Remember I told you not to join any military blocks. This is that point. Refraining from acts or threats of aggression or use of force against any other country. Simply you cannot go and attack any other country. Settlement of all disputes by peaceful means. Promotion of mutual interest and cooperation. Respect for justice and international obligation. No need to mug up all 10 points. Can you remember at least 5 to 6 points? Agata. Yadu napka write down. Panchi last. Erase on that madi. See, that is the advantage of mains. You will have the liberty to write. Prelims, nobody will give you 10 points and say which are the principles of NAM. Yaru kelala. Artha aita? Analysis. So, what was the achievements of NAM? You only tell me, what can be the achievements? Global? Very good. NAM gave a voice to the global south. Do you agree? See, all small countries, if they act individually, will anybody listen to them? But if a grouping of 120 countries come together and speak, obviously they will get a voice. So NAM provided a platform for the independence of, for the voice of newly independent countries. Then equal opportunity, same objectives ne bari bodni achievements agi, but there are some specific achievements. NAM fought for disarmament. What do you understand by the word disarmament? Reducing their investments on weapons. Why? Because all countries were newly independent. Remember I told you India was independent. What was the challenges we were facing? Poverty, illiteracy. So, yes, ivaga ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ money ಇರುತ್ತೆ budget. If you are focusing on more arms, all your budget will be diverted towards arms. Where will you invest in health, education, etc.? So that is why they focused on disarmament. Artha ida disarmament. Next, advocacy for human rights. Next, NAM played a very important role in ending apartheid. Kelidira? Apartheid and to fight racism. What is apartheid? Racism. Racism antane baribodalla. Racial discrimination. Racism antane baribodu. Apartheid ante yakke. Yes, it was majorly around Africa. It was the policy of Britain towards South Africa. So NAM played a very important role in ending this apartheid policy. Artha agta idya? Next was NAM played an important role in independence of a lot of nations. In fact, 1960s is known as the year of Africa. Around 17 countries in Africa became independent and NAM played a very important role for it. Artha agta idya? Yes. This is very important. NIEO. What is the full form of NIEO? ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿ, N ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, IEO. What is the full form? N ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಿರಬಹುದು? ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನ್ಯೂ. ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ನ್ಯೂ. ಐ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್. ಇ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ. ಓ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ನ್ಯೂ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್. Understood? So what happened was, even after independence, these USA and other countries were controlling the economic policies of the world. So they said, why don't we have independence in our own economic policies? That is why NAM countries wanted to set up NIEO. What is the full form? New International Economic Order. Artha aita? It is related only to NAM and nothing else. And NAM finally contributed to the end of Cold War. When did Cold War end? 1990s. When USSR disintegrated, Cold War ended. Who won the Cold War? USA. Capitalism. Now there is an argument. Cold War has happened, USSR is gone. So obviously should we close the office of NAM? Why? Cold War ge bandiradalva. Cold War ge muchbodu. So there was an argument. Some people said NAM's objectives has ended, NAM should close its office. Some people said no, NAM is relevant even today. Do you think NAM is relevant even today? Yes, guarantee no? Why? See, NAM was never against capitalism. NAM, is it relevant today? All of you are agreeing? Yes. Why? First, NAM yenik bante heli? You read the objectives of NAM. Is it relevant even today? Yes. Artha aitala? Yes, today, 21st century, we have a lot of problems. Like, ಹೇಳಿ ಏನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ 21st century? ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್, ವಾರ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ವಾರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಾನ್ಫ್ಲಿಕ್ಟ್, ಎಕನಾಮಿ, ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿ, ಸ್ಲೋ ಡೌನ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾವರ್ಟಿ, ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಅ ಮೇಜರ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್? ಗ್ಲೋಬಲ್ ಇನ್ಇಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಈಗಲೂ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಇನ್ಇಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಇಸ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್. ಇಸ್ NAM relevant? Yes. Other problems today, climate change, is it a problem? So climate change, I think you are reading in the news also now, where we are asking the developed countries to fund money. So is it not a voice for fighting climate change? Helboda? What is that new name that has come? ಏನು ಹೆಸರು ಅದು? NGSQ na? NQSM? From tomorrow please carry the newspaper. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಯಾವ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರು? ಹಿಂದೂ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು. ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ 15 minutes we'll try to read and discuss the newspaper. What is there? NQSM, NSQM? New Quantified Collective Goals. What is it? Finance. ಯಾವ ಫೈನಾನ್ಸ್? ಯಾರಿಗೆ? ನೀವು ಬಡ್ಡಿಗೆ ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಾ? Developed countries are giving money to developing countries for finance. ಆಯ್ತಾ? Good. Other problems of the 21st century. Cyber security idya? Amele refugee crisis. Are we facing refugee crisis? Yes. Then jorage, very good, neo-colonialism. What do you mean by this word neo-colonialism? ಹೇಳಿ. New way of controlling. What is that new way? Through global organizations, correct. I'll give you one small example. IMF, World Bank gotta? IMF, World Bank, what is the main purpose? To help countries which are in economic crisis, poverty, but they say that if I should give you money, you have to bring in some local reforms, or else I will not give you money. Is it not one way of controlling them? Now today also, do you agree? USA is controlling other countries through its economic policies. China is doing it. So that is why we need NAM today. Any other reasons why we need NAM? Any other reasons? ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ. Very good. For the development of underdeveloped countries, yes. Then political instability. Amele, I am expecting one more thing. Very good. Terrorism is also one important topic. Yes or no? Which continent is the most affected continent by terrorism? Which continent is most affected by terrorism? Asia na? Africa. Alright, Asia li bari one small part ಇದೆ, but Africa is one of the biggest victims of terrorism. Which are the most important terror groups in Africa? ISIS ಇದೆ, ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇರೆ ಇದೆ. Boko? Yes, very good. Boko Haram, ಯಾವ country? Nigeria. There is a very notorious group known as, again if you read the Hindu newspaper you will find all these names. Boko Haram anta ಒಂದು notorious terror group ಇದೆ, and their modus operandi is kidnapping school girls. ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು other terror groups. ISIS ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ Al Shabaab, ಅದೆಲ್ಲಿರೋದು Al Shabaab. Anyways, tomorrow read 3 terror groups of Africa and come. Only 3 groups. ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? Yes, no. So today we are living in a multipolar world order, and largest platform of developing countries is under NAM. Do you agree? Before that, what is multipolar world order? ಆಗಲೇ ಬೈಪೋಲಾರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ ನಾವು. ಬೈಪೋಲಾರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? 2 countries. So I'll write down now. 1940s to 1990s, 1990s to early 2000s, early 2000s to present. Here what we witnessed the Cold War. Cold War ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಂಗಿತ್ತು? Very good. Bipolar world order. Here we had a small period where we witnessed a unipolar world order. Unipolar andre single pole. And who was a single pole here? United States of America. And now we are living in a multipolar world order. Which are the multiple poles? India ಹೇಳಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ದೇಶ ಪ್ರೇಮ? India is one of the most important poles of the current world order. Good. China, European Union, USA, Russia, Japan. ಇನ್ಯಾರ ಇದ್ದಾರಾ? Pakistan will say I am also one pole. That is the reason why Pakistan has not succeeded in life. Why? Because Pakistan always wants to do what India does. India wants to procure a nuclear weapon, Pakistan wants. India wants the P5 membership, Pakistan wants. So they also, I don't think so they will consider them. What exactly do you mean by multipolar world order? Different countries claiming their dominance, not exactly. Definition of multipolar world order. Where power is not concentrated in a single place but distributed amongst multiple countries. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ? Power is distributed amongst multiple countries. That is why we call it as a multipolar world order. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ NAM? But NAM had some issues. What were the issues of NAM? Very good. They could not resist the temptation of the USA and USSR. Yes or no? ಈಗ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ. In fact, India also became very close to USSR. Apart from this, lack of coordination amongst NAM members. You are having 20 countries in NAM. Do you think there can be unity? ಈ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ? around 100-150 people are there. Can you think it is easy for us to have consensus? ಒಬ್ರು ಕಾಫಿ ಬೇಕು, ಒಬ್ರಿಗೆ ಟೀ ಬೇಕು, ಒಬ್ರಿಗೆ ಬೂಸ್ಟ್ ಬೇಕು, ಒಬ್ರಿಗೆ ಬಾದಾಮಿ ಹಾಲು ಬೇಕು. ಅರ್ಥ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ? ವೆರಿ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕನ್ಸೆನ್ಸಸ್. ಏನ್ ಸರ್ ಏನ್ ಬೇಕು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ? ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ರಾತ್ರಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, rivalry between NAM members. For example, India and Pakistan. The NAM members only started fighting wars. Fine. So these were some of the issues that NAM was facing. Today, humanity faces its most serious crisis after many decades. At this time, NAM can help promote global solidarity. NAM has often been world's moral voice. To retain this role, NAM must remain inclusive. PM Modi. So what can be done? NAM alli, what else can be done? Suggestion. One more problem that happened with NAM was, initially who provided the leadership to NAM? 5 countries idra. ಯಾರು ಇಂಡಿಯಾ, ಘಾನಾ, ಈಜಿಪ್ಟ್, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇಂಡೋನೇಷಿಯಾ ಅಂಡ್ ಯುಗಾಸ್ಲಾವಿಯಾ. Currently, NAM is facing the leadership crisis. There is no proper leader. This is where India can take the leadership of NAM and give a moral voice to NAM. Helboda? Can we conclude it? India can take the leadership vacuum that is present in NAM. Any doubts? Yes? No? Artha aita NAM andre? Now repeat what is NAM. Non-aligned movement. ಅದು ಯಾರು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಫಿ ಕೊಡೋನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. It is a group of newly independent countries who wanted to stay away from bloc politics of Cold War and maintain independence in decision making or sovereignty in decision making. ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? Then what are the main objectives of NAM? ಸೇಮ್ ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಪಂಚಿಲ್ ಬರೀರಿ. ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ರೈಟ್ಸ್, ರೇಸಿಸಮ್ ಬರಿಬೋದಾ, ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಟ್ರಾ. Next, the next phase now. In 1962, what happened? India lost the war to China. That is when India realized, I have to depend on myself. I have to invest more in defense. And at the same time, China conducted its first nuclear test at a place known as Lop Nor. Really? Lop Nor. So this was a message to China. Imagine, China has now just defeated India. In the next few years, it is conducting a nuclear test. So should India be careful or not? So this was an indication for India. Where does India conduct its nuclear test? Pokhran. Where does Pakistan conduct its nuclear test? They conduct their nuclear test at a place known as Chagai Hills. Chagai Hills. Artha aita? Then 1965 war. Between whom? India and Pakistan. And again, who won the war? India. Pakistan has never won a war, will never win a war against India. Then a very important treaty was signed known as Non-Proliferation Treaty. Now let us discuss what is this Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. Anybody? No. No first use alve alla. Ire avar shock adru. No first use policy is the India's nuclear doctrine. India has told that I will never use nuclear weapon against any country first. Yararu nannanu attack madre I will respond. Adu India's nuclear doctrine. NPT andre Non-Proliferation Treaty. It is an international treaty where, what does it say? It has banned countries from testing nuclear weapons on air, water, land, ella kade. Only you can test it how? Underground space. You can do it only through simulation test. Artha agta idya? Till 1967, there were 5 countries. USA, sorry, USSR, China, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಫ್ರಾನ್ಸ್, ಆಮೇಲೆ UK. These countries had tested their nuclear weapons. They were capable of using nuclear weapons. So they said that from 1967 onwards, no country can test nuclear weapons. And they asked India also, please India come and join this agreement. And India said, I will not join it. Chance illa. Why did India say that? India said one thing, ನೀವು 5 countries ಇದಿರಲ್ಲ, you give up your nuclear weapons, tomorrow only I will sign. Correct? India said that this treaty is discriminatory. Do you agree? It is discriminating between nuclear haves and nuclear have-nots. Understood? India said, I will not join this because it is discriminatory in nature. Correct? So today also there is force on India that you have to join NPT. And India tells one thing, you all give up your nuclear weapons, I will give up, I will sign it the next day. But they are telling you sign first, then we will give up our nuclear weapons. Can you trust them? You cannot trust. Adrallu USA ideyalla, most notorious country in the world is USA. USA today also any problem in the world you see, USA and UK are responsible. Inyaru illa. China ella ivaga emerging rowdies. USA and UK are hardcore notorious countries. The reason for rise of terrorism is the great United States of America. The reason for Russia-Ukraine war, the great United States of America. War start aita Russia-Ukraine. Russia-Ukraine war start aita. USA is a close friend of Ukraine. It would have told, don't worry, don't fight the war. First thing USA was told was, take money, take weapons, fight. Are you understanding here? Never once USA has asked Russia to not fight. Ningen make weapons, I will send. NATO members, please send weapons to Ukraine. Iga Iran Israel war agta ideyalla, who is the reason? Great USA. Ella kade yavade war tagoli. Bangladesh also there is a argument. You know what is Bangladesh? What is happening in Bangladesh? Again tomorrow we'll discuss. Sheikh Hasina was thrown out of her own country by her own people. And some people are telling that USA is the reason beyond it. Why? Island, ಯಾವ island? Saint Martin's Island. ಅದರಿಂದ ಏನು ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ? Again, this is a conspiracy theory saying that USA wants to create a new country in this region where all Christian majority people are there in this country. Myanmar ಅಲ್ಲಿ 2 district ಇದೆ, ಬಾಂಗ್ಲಾದೇಶ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವು states ಇದೆ, ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ they want a single country known as a Christian country. Again, this is a conspiracy theory, nobody has agreed. Are you understanding? Tomorrow we'll discuss in detail, I'll bring some articles about it. Now, did you understand NPT? Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. So, it says that only the P5 countries can continue to possess nuclear weapons. P5 gotala? Permanent members of UN. I will discuss that later. Next, change with continuity. Earlier India was idealistic. Now you see some strands of realism in our policy. Aggression. What happened in 1971? What happened in 1971? There was a crisis in East Pakistan. Earlier Bangladesh anta country irilla. Pakistan was divided into East Pakistan and West Pakistan. So East Pakistan andre currently it is Bangladesh. So there was a crisis in East Pakistan and India had to interfere. Again, it's a very interesting story. I'll discuss when we do Pakistan. And this is when the great USA, UK, China, Sri Lanka, all of them supported Yarna, Pakistan. Still, India went on to defeat them. And thankfully, India was supported by USSR. So again, this raised the profile of India in the entire region. Do you agree? India's brand increased. Why? Because we defeated Pakistan and that too against Yaro, USA and UK. And 1974, what happened? Smiling Buddha, correct? Yaak sudden silent adra. Smiling Buddha, also known as Pokhran 1. What is this smiling Buddha or Pokhran 1? Nuclear testing. So again here, the main problem was not the testing. Again, nuclear test madak ಏನು ಬೇಕು ನಮಗೆ? Nuclear fuel ಬೇಕಾ? Nuclear fuel. So India was importing nuclear fuel from USA. ಯಾರಿಂದ? USA. But India told that I am using this nuclear fuel only for civilian purpose and research purpose. Civilian andre energy production, research andre it can be nuclear medicine, etc. But silently India had diverted all this to develop a nuclear weapon. Artha aida? So India was getting nuclear fuel from USA for what purpose? Civilian and research. But what did we do? Divert it to develop a nuclear weapon. And how will USA feel? Will USA be happy? ಈಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಪಾಕೆಟ್ ಮನಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಬುಕ್ ತಗೋ ಅಂತ. ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನ ನೆಟ್ಫ್ಲಿಕ್ಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ, ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್, ಯು ಆರ್ ಡೈವರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸಸ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಡಿಡ್. ಅವಾಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್? ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, 2 ತಿಂಗಳು ನೋ ಪಾಕೆಟ್ ಮನಿ. ಸೇಮ್ ವೇ ಸ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ವರ್ ಇಂಪೋಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದಿಸ್ Pokhran 1 or Smiling Buddha. Artha ida? But again, the steps taken were very important, and if India did not develop a nuclear weapon, imagine what China would have done to us today. Mandiroru, Jammu Kashmir ತಗೊಂಡಿರೋರು, Arunachal Pradesh na ತಗೊಂಡು ಎಲ್ಲ ತಗೊಂಡಿರೋರು. That is why nuclear weapons are known as weapons of peace. ಅದರಲ್ಲೇ ಡಬಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಇದೆ ನೋಡಿ, ವೆಪನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೀಸ್. ವೆಪನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಗ್ರೆಷನ್, ಬಟ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ವೆಪನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೀಸ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಸಮ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಸೇ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಫ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ವೆಪನ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಲೀಡ್ ಟು ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ನೋನ್ ಆಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಡ್. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಡ್? ಸುದೀಪ್ ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ, PSIR ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಮ್ಯೂಚುಯಲಿ ಅಶ್ಯೂರ್ಡ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್. ಮ್ಯೂಚುಯಲಿ assured discretion. Whoever uses it, both parties are going to be destroyed. That is why they say the 4th World War will be fought in what? Stones and bricks. Like 3rd World War are the nuclear war agata. Nuclear war adre entire humanity is going to be destroyed. So 4th war will be fought in stones, kallu hodkondirbeku. Then Shimla Agreement of 1970s, most important agreement that is relevant even today. What is this Shimla Agreement? Why is it important? Yaar sign madar first? Who signed it? Kele ilva? How many of you have not heard about this? Eti ella gotiralla. After I gave my first interview also I did not know. My option was political science. Yen madadi? See, the problem was we were not taught. An interview hogta in somebody told Shimla Agreement, somebody told LAC, ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನನಗೆ. Because it is some important things which have to be taught even if it is not important. You know 1971 war, India and Bangladesh, India Pakistan. After the war, India and Pakistan signed this Shimla Agreement. There are 3 important provisions of Shimla Agreement. First provision is return of prisoners of war. Prisoners of war andre enu? After India won the war, India had captured 90,000 soldiers of Pakistan. Eshtu? 90,000 soldiers of war. And India said that I am going to return them back to Pakistan. Point number 1. Artha aita? Next, point number 2. LOC, line of control. Both India and Pakistan agreed that nobody is going to alter this line of control. Artha agta idya? First time LOC was recognized in any official document. Again, while I do Pakistan, I will show it to you in the map. Artha idya? Second point. Where is LOC? Where is LOC, line of control? ಹೇಳಿ, ಇಂಡಿಯಾಲೇ ಇದೆ ಸರ್, ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಪಾಕಿಸ್ತಾನ್ ಬಾರ್ಡರ್. ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಯು 1948 ವಾರ್ ಆದಾಗ ಈ ಪಾಕಿಸ್ತಾನ್ ಕೇಮ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಕ್ಯುಪೈಡ್ 1/3 of our territory and the other 2/3 was with India. The line dividing it is known as LOC. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? So here we said India and Pakistan both will not shift LOC. Last one, very important, is bilateral resolution of disputes. What do you understand by this? Bilateral resolution of disputes. Bilateral resolution of disputes. If there is any dispute between India and Pakistan are going to sit and decide, we don't want China, We don't want USA or anybody else to come and mediate. Artha aita? Shimla agreement artha aita? Tell me the 3 points of Shimla agreement. Return of prisoners of war. Second, no unilateral change of LOC. Third one, bilateral negotiation of disputes. Today also you observe, Pakistan will go to United Nations and start crying, sir, India has captured my Kashmir. Kelidira? You see, Pakistan always go to United Nations and starts crying. Basically, Pakistan is violating Shimla agreement. And it is signed between India and Pakistan. (1973) oil crisis. What is this 1973 oil crisis? It is, you can also relate it to the current situation that is happening in West Asia. Sorry, no gas. Again, people, the cost of petrol and gas was so costly that people started going around in horses. 300% rise in price of oil. So what had happened was, all of you know this Arab-Israel war or Arab-Israel issue? Gothilwa? Okay, fine, difficult. Palestine gotta? Kelidira? Currently enagta ide ivaga Israel-Palestine dispute, all of you know? History I will do it in West Asia. West Asia I will need 2 classes to teach. Iga basics ashte. So Israel and Palestine. Israel has occupied some parts of Palestine. Do you agree? Palestine nalli majorly which community people are there? Muslims. Israel ali? Yes. Ishtu gottidya? So what happened was, all the Arab countries were supporting Palestine. Arab countries andre? Majorly Muslim countries. They were supporting Palestine because again Israel has forcefully occupied Palestine. Ishtu artha aita? And who is supporting Israel? USA and other European countries. Fine? Illi tanga godaita. Now, who is sending oil to US and European countries? Ee Arab countries ena? Did you understand? And USA and Europe are supporting Israel against Palestine. So what did Arab countries say? I will cut down your oil supply. Do whatever you want. Artha aita? This led to a global oil crisis in 1973. Any doubts? Solpa artha ide this issue. Fair enough, what Arab countries did? I am giving you oil and you are supporting Israel who is attacking Palestine. So this led to a 1973 oil crisis. Next, continue madana, stop madana. Stop, ellaru ready alla? Kelak munchena stop. Anyways, fine, because again this is a big topic. So, 2 ನಿಮಿಷ ಇನ್ನೂ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ, ಮತ್ತೆ ರಿವೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತೀನಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬಿಡೋದು. We'll revise multiple times, you should get bored of the same topic. And it will save you time. If you go home and just see the slides, you will be able to recollect. Aita? So today, we discussed about what is foreign policy, what are the determinants. Usually at the exam alantu kelala. So then we discussed the evolution of India's foreign policy, which are the major policies. First I told you, Panchashil, non-alignment, Gujarat doctrine and Modi doctrine or neighborhood first. Adali first we discussed Panchashil. What is Panchashil? First it is an agreement signed between India and China. Guiding principles. Now one person tell me Panchashil. Obbre helbek nange. Pakka chocolate kodtini. Yenla just imagine one more chair beside you. What should be your policy there? Sir ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿ, yellow shirt. ಹೇಳಿ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ನೀವು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪಕ್ಕದವ್ರಿಗೆ? ಹಾಯ್ ಹೌ ಆರ್ ಯು ಅಂತ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಅದರ್ಸ್ ಸರ್ ನೀವು ನೀವೇ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹೆಸರು ಗಿರಿ ಹೇಳಿ ಗಿರಿ. ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ಮ್ಯೂಚುವಲ್ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಈಚ್ ಅದರ್ಸ್ ಟೆರಿಟೋರಿಯಲ್ ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರಿಟಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಾವರ್ನಿಟಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅವ್ರು ನೋಡ್ತೀರಾ ಫೋನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ತೆಗ್ದಿ ನೇಬರ್ದು. ಹೇಳಿ ಈಗ. ಮ್ಯೂಚುವಲ್ ನಾನ್ ಇಂಟರ್ಫಿರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಅಫೇರ್ಸ್. ಗುಡ್. ಥರ್ಡ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅದು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕೋಣ. ಈಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಮ್ಯೂಚುವಲ್ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್. ಯು ಕಮ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಟು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್, ದಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಅವರ್ ಗೋಲ್. ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಒನ್ ಹೊಡಿತೀರಾ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ? ಮ್ಯೂಚುವಲ್ ನಾನ್ ಅಗ್ರೆಷನ್. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಪೀಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಕೋಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಪಂಚೀಲ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ದೆನ್ ವಿ ಕೇಮ್ ಟು ನ್ಯಾಮ್. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನ್ಯಾಮ್? ಈ ಕಡೆ 1%. ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ವಾಂಟ್ ಫುಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್. ಮೇಡಮ್ ನೀವ್ ಹೇಳಿ, ನೀವೇ. Group of newly independent countries came together to stay away from bloc politics of Cold War and maintain independence in decision. ಈ ಮೂರು ವರ್ಡ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ನ್ಯೂಲಿ ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ಟೇ ಅವೇ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಪಾಲಿಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೋಲ್ಡ್ ವಾರ್, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ದೀಸ್ ಕೀವರ್ಡ್ಸ್. ಫೈನ್. Then what are the achievements of NAM? Same, human rights, disarmament. Adhelinala, what is that? 4 alphabets. I told you 4 alphabets. NEO, ashte, NEO, NIEO. Good. Amele disarmament, apartheid, racism, independence of African countries. It provided a voice to the developing countries. Artha aita? Good. Then we discussed about nuclear non-proliferation treaty. What is this non-proliferation treaty? It will ban on nuclear testing in any scenarios. Again, was it right? Did India accept it? No. Why? India said it is discriminatory between nuclear haves and nuclear have-nots. Artha aita? So this is enough for today. Tomorrow you will attend class. Bardira? ನೋಡೋಣ. ಆಯ್ತು ಬಿಡಪ್ಪ, ಸಂಡೇ. ಓಕೆ, ವಿಲ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಆನ್ ಮಂಡೇ. ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ, ಇಫ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್, ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ರೈಟ್ ಡೌನ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್. ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಮ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಔಟ್ಸ್. ಎವ್ರಿ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಯು ಸಮ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಔಟ್ಸ್. ಬಟ್ ಇಫ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್, ಸಿಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರೈಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಡೌನ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಎನಿ ಡೌಟ್ಸ್? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.